Hello, my name is Susan O'Donoghue. I'm the author of Golden Wings, a tale about an Irish barn owl. It's a book that's been released by BirdWatch Ireland earlier this year, and it's free to read online. So today I'm going to do a reading of the book to celebrate National Heritage Week 2021. So I really hope you enjoy the story. Then I'm going to read through some facts at the end of the book, which are very interesting because many of them have been informed by the latest research on this beautiful species, the barn owl. And then I might tell you a little bit of a funny story. Something happened to me when I was at one of the nest sites myself. So I really hope you enjoy the reading. And maybe I'll start by giving you a little bit of background into myself. Many people, they ask me, why did you write about the barn owl? What's so special? Why did you write this story? Well, so it all started 12, 13 years ago. I started bird watching, didn't know much about birds. Joined a class, and one day we were on an outing and we were in a stubbled field. It was a winter afternoon, kind of grey day, misty, a little bit drizzly as well, and all of a sudden out of the field rose 3 short-eared owls right in front of us, and I couldn't believe, my heart was pounding. I couldn't believe how beautiful they were. I couldn't believe something so stunning could exist. I was looking at them, and they rose up and they flew out over the ocean a tiny bit and came back in and settled under a cliff very close by. And I was changed from that point. I knew it was going to be my aim in life then to go and learn as much about owls as I could. I couldn't believe what age I was, and I hadn't ever seen an owl, and it was just so intriguing to me. And everyone was going about their business and talking about where they were going on the weekend and things. All I could think about was the owls. And then I was literally hooked. Our car got stuck in muck that night, in mud, and I was just pushing it and still thinking about the owls. Didn't care, beaming, very happy, didn't care whether I got home or not. So then I set about learning as much as I could about owls from that point on. I bought many books. I went back to college, studying ecology, went over to America to work with owls, came back, volunteered with BirdWatch Ireland, became a member of BirdWatch Ireland, and then started working with BirdWatch Ireland. So through my volunteering, I got to visit many of the barn owl sites and help them with the breeding surveys, and also then I visited schools and things like that, and just I think it was one winter, it was about, I'd say 6 or 7 years ago now, that I wrote the story. And I know it's a cliche and a lot of people say this, but the story literally wrote itself, because it was what I was living, what I was learning. I was learning all about their breeding cycle and what they do, what kind of habitat they live in, what they eat, things like this. Tiny little pygmy shrew, that's the kind of thing they eat. Ireland's smallest mammal. And I didn't think that when I was writing it, I thought that just their breeding cycle and what they do every day is fascinating. It didn't have to be fiction. So the story is very factual, even though it is a fictitious story, but it's based on fact. So I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're enjoying Heritage Week and you'll enjoy the rest of Heritage Week. And what we'll do is we'll get going with the story now, and here we go. I'll just switch over to the book. So we'll make this full screen. Oh, it's been great. Okay. So just to let you know that the book is illustrated by Robert Vaughan, and Sara Sirtoli did the graphic design. So there is Golden Wings in front of her castle. So the book is funded by Galway County Council and Creative Ireland, and released by BirdWatch Ireland, produced by BirdWatch Ireland. So this is a bit about me and all the people that helped me along the way. So here we go. A blackbird calls and heads to roost. For some it's time to rest. The day is at its end and the sun is in the west. As dusk is falling in soft fading light, the silent ghostly barn owl now wakes for the night. If you are out at night and you hear her loud shriek, you will be forgiven for thinking it was the banshee, the woman of legend who wanders the land, wailing and screeching with a comb in her hand. Her eyes that are used to dull and dark conditions come in very handy on nocturnal hunting missions. She can spin her head almost all the way around without it popping off and falling on the ground. Her heart-shaped ruff of feathers may look like a mask. Its purpose is to channel sounds, a most important task. It allows her to hear bank voles chewing on grass shoots and tiny pygmy shrews squeaking territorial disputes. Come springtime she's with her mate. He screeches loudly as he flies. Circling around the countryside, he patrols the skies. Together they turn, twist and weave in their courtship chase. He follows her at great speed. An old castle will be their base. The owl's abandoned castle looks quite scary in the night, and their wailing and screaming would give anyone a fright. The people are long gone from this empty stone ruin, and crawling, sprawling ivy shines brightly beneath the moon. Over time she tends to stay ever longer in the nest. The male hunts for her and must do his best to feed them both and prepare for the coming season. Why have they come together? To raise a family, that's the reason. The nest is in a garderobe. Peep in if you dare, for it was once a toilet, quite a smelly affair. Mum keeps the eggs nice and warm, ensuring they don't chill. Standing up with expert care, she turns them with her bill. Mum is growing restless as hatching time draws near. What is that tiny chittering, that faint sound that she can hear? It's her chicks inside the eggs, saying they're on the way. She twitters back gently to them throughout the night and day. 4 chicks soon hatch out and leave their eggs for good, each one blind and naked, no bigger than a spud. The first one comes on Monday, she's older than the rest. Number 2 arrives on Wednesday. By Sunday it's a busy nest. Mum tears up their food and gently feeds them little bits. She must also keep them warm, so on top of them she sits. Their snoring, begging calls imply, "Hurry up, bring us some food." So Dad's kept very busy hunting for his growing brood. As they grow and grow, the chicks eat larger food, and they must cough up pellets, which is not considered rude. Look, here comes Dad with a nice plump foal that is snatched by an owlet and quickly swallowed whole. Mum catches a young rat, 1 strike and it is dead. To prepare it for her darlings, she then lops off its head. She is the farmer's friend, as she catches rats and mice that cause damage on the farm, which isn't very nice. As the weeks go by, downy feathers disappear. The facial discs develop, and fledging time is drawing near. The eldest is almost ready, and likes to stand there peering out. She exercises night and day, flapping her golden wings about. With wings and tail almost grown, she finally takes the plunge, and jumps suddenly from the nest, an ungraceful, clumsy lunge. She crash lands on a windowsill, feet first, wings spread wide, and sees for the first time ever the big wide world outside. For the next few days her siblings fledge as well. The youngest is the last to leave. It's quite a busy spell. At first they just explore inside their stony home, then investigating further outside the walls they roam. Now's the time to learn exactly how to pounce. One playfully jumps on a stick as if it were a mouse. They follow each other about, from one thing to another, while excitedly snoring and chirping to each other. Mum circles high overhead with prey clasped in her feet. Snoring loudly to her young, she drops the furry treat. A scramble then ensues as it falls onto the ground. One owlet hovers looking, another dives and runs around. Under the bright moon and sparkling starlit sky, the eldest goes exploring, gliding silently by. She's starving. Where is Dad? Wonders little golden wings. Then down below her in the grass she spots something. Emerging from its burrow to keep hunger at bay, a teeny tiny wood mouse is out in search of prey. Our owl like a flash plunges her long legs into the grass. Her sharp and pointy talons don't allow the mouse to pass. Now it's time to eat her catch. But what on earth's that light? It shines directly in her eyes, so unnaturally bright. She finds it hard to move and is for a moment blind. But she knows she has to flee. She escapes just in time. On and on she travels as autumn colours everything. Along the winding river she flies on silent wing. She wanders through the country, exploring here and there, meeting other owls, fighting for her share. One night she spies a rat. He's easy to catch as well, but after her dinner she begins to feel unwell. The rat has eaten poison, which is an awful sign, but later she recovers. She was lucky this time. As winter turns to spring and the days grow long, she meets a handsome male with a loud and screeching song. He guards a mighty oak, standing tall and alone, surrounded by rough grassland, an ideal barn owl home. From inside he calls out, she follows him right in. This will be their nest where new life will begin. Soon there will be eggs and hungry chicks then. The new parents will be busy as the cycle starts again. So here are some facts. It's the end of the story. We'll read through them. Number 1. A barn owl has silent flight because its feathers are very soft with special barbs that reduce noise. 2. A long time ago, when people heard the screech of the barn owl, they may have thought it was the banshee. Perhaps this is how the legend of the banshee began. She is a female spirit who foretells death by screaming and wailing at night. 3. A barn owl's hearing is so good that it can hunt in complete darkness. The stiff feathers of its heart-shaped facial disc or ruff trap sounds and direct them to the ears. 4. As well as small mammals, barn owls eat frogs and birds. Birds as big as starlings and water rails have been eaten by Irish barn owls. 5. The barn owl's Irish name, Scoileco Gaeilge, translates as graveyard screecher. This is a great name because it screeches and sometimes nests or sleeps in old churches near graveyards. 6. In Ireland, the barn owl mostly nests in cavities or holes, or chimneys in ruined castles, old mansions and derelict, which is unlived in, farmhouses, as well as old trees, quarries, and more recently special nest boxes put up by people. 7. Nest sites can be used for many years, with records of buildings being used for over 80 years in Ireland. And when they arrive, number 8, the tiny owlets only weigh 12 grams, which is about the same as 3 10-cent coins. 9. Barn owls make a sound called snoring. The hungrier and bigger the chicks are, the louder their snoring is. 10. In a single night, a pair of Irish barn owls can bring as many as 25 food items to their chicks. 11. Pellets are made from the parts of prey that are not very nutritious. They contain very interesting things such as spooky skulls, shiny beetle wing cases, and soft fur. 12. At 12 days old, an owlet's eyes begin to open and are blue and misty before turning a beautiful warm hazel colour about 13 days later. 13. A barn owl is known as the farmer's friend and can catch over 1,000 rodents, that's rats and mice, in 1 year. 14. Some owlets in Ireland move short distances, but others travel really far. One owlet, which was ringed, travelled all the way from Kerry to Derry, a distance of 350 kilometres. 15. Barn owls can start a family when they're not even 1 year old. 16. Some roads are very dangerous for owls. A study by BirdWatch Ireland show that up to 60 barn owls were killed on 100 kilometres of one of the most dangerous roads for owls every year. 17. Barn owls eat small mammals such as rats, mice, voles and shrews. 18. 2 animals that owls eat were accidentally introduced to Ireland from other countries, the bank vole and the greater white-toothed shrew. 19. The oldest wild barn owl, a bird which was ringed, known in Ireland, is 11 years. And 20. Some barn owl nests are located more than 30 feet down chimneys. So if you want to learn more about the BirdWatch Ireland's work with the owls, you can read it in these pages, and there's a little funny story there about me being in a site and I knew an owl was there but I couldn't see it, and then a warm pellet fell on my head and oh my god, I knew then that there was an owl there. It was just such a fright, but actually a very, very funny thing that happened when I was in the field. So things can happen. The spooky calls coming from castles at night, they're very quite eerie as well. It's such a lovely experience to be studying them in the field. So if you'd like to join BirdWatch Ireland, that'd be great. The Barn Owl project is just one of many projects run by BirdWatch Ireland to help birds. So I really hope you enjoyed the story and have a great Heritage Week. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye.